Okay, so I have the RCBS Chargemaster Supreme here, and I was loading up a small number of cartridges, doing some various powder tests, and I've been using it for, I don't know, about the last 2 hours, and it has just been throwing over and over and over. And I called customer service, and customer service said, "Oh, well, you've only had it for about 3 months. You can send it in, or we'll refund your money. Your choice. Go to the website, fill out the form, and do so." That there wasn't any troubleshooting steps that they were going to walk me through. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do what I've already done twice earlier, and that is I'm going to calibrate the scale, and then I'm going to do learning with this particular powder. The previous time that I used this, which has been, I don't know, several weeks ago, I used this scale with the same powder, same jug, and so I'd already done a learn then, and I've done learn twice today, and I've also calibrated it twice today with no change. And the problem that I'm having is that as it approaches the target weight, it's not slowing the dispensing down to actually hit the target. So it hard charges all the way to the end, and then is going anywhere from 2 to maybe 4/10ths of a grain over. Usually not very much, usually 2/10ths or so, but I've been having a few of them that have hit, I think if I remember correctly, in the neighborhood of 4/10ths over. So I'm going to video all of this, and this will kind of add on to the frustration that I've had with electronic scales. I've got a video I made maybe 8 years ago with a Hornady scale where if you tried to trickle directly into the unit, it would not register for a little bit, so you could wind up overweighing charges. You had to bulk dispense something like a spoon, bulk dispense onto the scale some, and then you could trickle up from there. I also then later bought a Hornady auto trickler, which was equally frustrating in a different way, in that it was so incredibly slow. This has been really fast, and it worked okay with the few charges that I did with ball powder, but this is a stick powder, and the problem I don't think is the type of powder that's being dispensed, it's the speed with which it's just running out there. So I'm going to catch all that on video. I don't know, maybe it could be a bad unit. I'm just really kind of tired of the electronic scales. I actually do quite well with I've got a trickler over here that I'm using into an old RCBS 505 balance beam that I don't think they even make that anymore. It was made by Ohos, however you want to pronounce that, OHAUS, and I haven't been able to find one of those. I don't know, looked off and on for several years, and they don't seem to make those anymore, but they're pretty awesome. I can find a scoop that gets me close, dump it in there, trickle it up. It is a little more time consuming in some regards than the electronic, but when I have to keep dumping charge after charge after charge back in, this is quite consuming, so time consuming. So I'm gonna hit 0 again just for the heck of it, and I'm gonna do the calibrate, and I have the weights right up here, and I'll hit calibrate again, and I'm going to put the 50-gram weight on it, wait for it to go stable, hit calibrate. It's going to ask for the other one. Scoot that over, set that on, and I'm going to hit calibrate again, and there we are. That is done. So I'll go ahead and hang these up. It'll automatically then go back to grains, and notice that from there we go. Now it's back to 0. I'm going to go ahead and put the pan on. We're going to run through the learn process. Again, there's no shenanigans here. This is just what's going on. So I'll go ahead and hit 0. And I'll take the little booty cover off. Okay, no powder fell in there. Okay, and now we'll hit learn. And it goes through a couple of different speeds that you can clearly see. And what the Hornady auto trickler did was it would replace that. Give it a chance to settle down, hit enter. What the Hornady would do is it would run rapidly up to maybe a grain, grain and a half. I don't remember, I haven't used it in years, and I left it at the ex's place when I left her, so I don't have that anymore. It would run up and get close, and then it would slow down, and then it would get a little bit closer, and it would finally slow down. And it was painfully slow to trickle in maybe the last 2 or 3 tenths of powder, but it rarely went over. It would sometimes, but not terribly often. The whole thing was just incredibly slow. The whole process really sucked. So that's why I quit using it. And like I said, I literally left it behind. When I left it. Yeah, sorry, didn't care. So this was a Black Friday special. Today happens to be Valentine's Day, February 14th of 2024. I bought this on a Black Friday special for Black Friday 2023. So I've only had it, 3 months? Not quite 3 months. And I haven't used it a whole lot because normally what I'll do is hit enter. When I'm actually bulk loading, I say bulk, 50 or 100 at a time is what I would call bulk for me. Hunting ammunition, I use a powder drop. I check it a bunch of times until it gives me consistent dispensing and aggregates that average out to what they're supposed to be, like 3 or 4 or 5 charges that all average out exactly what they're supposed to be. And then that's what I run with. I mean, powder drop is plenty good for the precision that I'm looking for in thermal hunting ammunition. I say thermal because I might go out and not shoot at all, not see a thing. The most number of rounds, the highest number of rounds that I've burned through in an evening was 37. I mean, so I might shoot none, or I might shoot a whole lot. So I'll load 50 to 100 at a time, and that ammunition might last me for a month, might last me for a month and a half, might last me for 3 weeks, who knows, whatever. Point being is I haven't been using this a whole lot. It's when I'm trying to do load development that I wanted to have this. I wanted to be able to rapidly dispense, and enter. I want to be able to rapidly dispense just under my target weight for a particular powder. And let's say I'm going to do 5 different powder charges with the same powder, and I'm going to do 27.2, 27.5, 27.8, and so forth. I wanted to be able to use this for a tenth under and throw it into the balance beam and trickle it. And then what I'm using is I'm using my cell phone to video the pointers, and I can see it without parallax. It's actually a neat trick I got off of watching someone else's video, and it works really well for me. But this greatly speeds that up. So instead of trying to use a powder scoop, which, like, there's never one that's the perfect size. Usually it's a titch too big, so if I fill it too much, I dump it in, and then I'm having to scoop a little bit back out of the balance beam. This is awesome. And actually, it seems pretty accurate. If it actually says that it's 27.2, it's within a tenth of a grain of 27.2. It might be a hair high or a hair low, but it's close enough for the loading that I'm going to do and the accuracy that I want. So that's fantastic. So I could just dispense directly off of this. Load development, I want to get everything the same. That's just my way of doing things. And I want it to be, and I want that balance beam over there to show me it's dead on the line. That's pretty doggone close. For actually just loading ammunition, this would be fantastic. It's good. Anyway, sorry, I get distracted as I'm sitting here thinking about this whole mess. Like, I really don't have to go through sending it back. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, let's say 27.2. That's what I was loading a few minutes ago before I called them. And I'm going to hit go. We just went through the learn process with the powder. Haven't changed a thing. Let's hit it. Score. And fail. That's 4/10 high. So the suck part is, okay, yes, I could definitely shoot under because I'm going to trickle up to the final charge, but I'm trying to be under by a tenth of a grain, so I don't have to trickle a whole lot. When I'm under a tenth, this is benchmark tiny stick powder stuff. I I don't know, 6, 8, 9 sticks, 10 sticks, and I'm up there. It's pretty quick and easy. That's going to be more trickling. That's not saving me time. That's not helpful. And if I was trying to load directly off this, that's completely unacceptable. If I'm at max charge going another 4/10 over, hell no. Not 4/10 when I'm doing 27.2. If I was doing 60 grains and getting 4/10 over, maybe not such a big deal. 27.6 again. Okay, so that's 3 in a row that are over. 2 4/10 over, 1 2/10 over. So 4 charges, 3 have been over. Nice. The heating system, air conditioning, HVAC, whatever, is all off. Doors are closed, windows are closed. There aren't any drafts. There's no air movement. It's on a solid surface. There's nothing touching the table that it's sitting on. There are no electromechanical devices that are operating other than the camera that you're watching it through, and this is doing the same thing it was doing before. Okay. So what is that? 6 charges, 5 over. There's 7 charges, 6 over. Let's go to 10. What the heck? Let's just do a nice 10. It's a pretty good sample size. Looks like it's going to nail it this time. And notice how it's creeping up to it. It's stopped short and it's creeping up. Okay, so we've managed to get 2 out of 8 so far. That seemed a little lucky. Okay, that's 3 out of 9. Three out of 10. That's a fail. So anyway, I don't know if I'm going to let them replace this or just get my money back off of this. And I'm really feeling like just cancel that. I'm really thinking the money. Just take the money and run. This is, it's disappointing. It could be, but I don't know why. For some reason, it's not choking back that dispense speed as it approaches the set point. And that could just be a defect in this unit, and maybe getting another one might fix it. I'll have to mull that one over and say a few prayers about that. I don't know what the right answer is, but anyway, if you're thinking about buying one of these, be advised that, well, it may be green and have RCBS written on it, which a lot of people seem to hold that company in high regard. I've had equipment from virtually every major manufacturer of reloading equipment, from the inexpensive to the most expensive brand that I'm aware of, and RCBS somewhere in the middle there. I have not been super impressed with RCBS. Some of their stuff is good, some of their stuff is not so good. Anyway, for whatever it's worth, there it is.